Hey bag maker, today I'm going to be talking about the guidelines for quilting ruler, Kona Sheen fabrics. The book review will be for a book called Swatch This. I'll be previewing 2 of the next 4 brand new sewing patterns, and there's a great giveaway at the end. I'm Sarah Lawson from Soul Sweetness. Thanks so much for joining me for Social Sunday, my weekly sewing chat. Hey everyone, happy Sunday and welcome to Social Sunday. Thank you so much for joining me for the show, whether you're watching live or watching the recording later on during the week. I see Mrs. B is watching from West Virginia, Holly's watching from Idaho, and Tracy's watching from Texas. So welcome everyone. Just a friendly reminder, just about everything that I talk about during the show are things that I've purchased myself. So these are not things that I'm getting paid to talk to you about, but just cool things that I found that I'd like to share with you. And everything that I'm scheduled to talk about, I link to in the description. So if you're interested in finding out more about any of the books, fabrics, notions, or projects that I talk about during Social Sunday, just check that link in the description and you can find out more information there. So today's notion of the week was a suggestion via email from Carol. Carol recommended this guidelines for quilting ruler. They come in different sizes / configurations, but I just picked up the 6" by 12" size. So I'm going to have Danny switch to the overhead camera, and and then I can show you what this ruler is all about. So the special thing about this ruler is, well, there's a few special things rather. This yellow strip over here is movable, so whatever measurement you need, 2.5 inches, 3 1/8. You move this strip and it kind of helps you line up your fabric because the fabric butts up against the strip. And the second cool thing about this ruler is because this yellow strip is on the back, which kind of raises the ruler up, that gives opportunity to attach these rays. I think they feel similar to silicone. I don't know if they're actually silicone, but they're kind of one clear strip on either side, and they help the ruler stick to your cutting mat and not kind of wiggle around. So that's another neat feature. And there's also this strip over here. They call it a finger guard, and it helps you as you're using your rotary cutter to keep your fingers well clear of the blade. And it's also left-hander friendly. So if you're left-handed, you would just switch the ruler around. The measurements are at the top as usual, and then you can use your left hand on the finger guard the same way that I would since I'm right-handed. What else is on this ruler? There's this little marker over here that's removable. It's removable with little plastic pins, and it helps you designate different degrees. So I had it on 45 degrees. There's also 60 degrees and 30 degrees. And it helps you cut. You can cut an additional shape, which is a diamond. And there's a little sort of instruction booklet that it comes with, explaining everything in detail. And there's also additional sets you can buy. For instance, if you needed a longer ruler, say if you needed a 6" by 24". There's sets where you can have 2 pieces. They kind of lock into each other, and you can also have a 12" by 12" square by locking a second piece in. But I just bought the single ruler just to give it a shot because I wanted to try it out first. I thought this is really cool because I was kind of playing around with it earlier, and I was actually keeping my eyes closed and sliding it over to see if I could catch it on this little yellow bar over here. So I'm going to close my eyes really quick, and I'm going to see if I can get it to catch on the I know this sounds very silly, but I was just like very pleased. Yeah, I had my eyes closed and I can get the ruler snug against the fabric where I needed it. So I think that's really brilliant. Let me show you how to move this little yellow guide over. So say if I wanted to cut a 2" strip. So this little plastic yellow piece over here, you just kind of push it down a little bit with your finger, and same with this one, you kind of push this one up and it just slides over on the back of the ruler. And then you just align it on whatever measurement you need. So for me, I'm going for the 2 inches. So once you have it aligned in place, there we go, it locks in place. And there's actually, I don't think it will show up on camera. Maybe it will in this middle piece. There's little grooves over here in the yellow plastic that help this bar sit evenly against the clear portion of the ruler, if that makes sense. So the bar will pretty much have to be in the correct position and it won't be sliding. There you go. Thanks, Danny. Yeah, see these little yellow grooves over here? This is what locks it in place to the ruler. By the way, I should also mention the ruler is, I think they said it was polycarbonate, so they say it's virtually indestructible, which is pretty neat. So let me show you how it cuts. So again, you just slide this portion over so the yellow's butted up against the fabric, and you don't need to sort of peer down at it. It really just kind of butts up against the fabric on its own. And then I'm just going to go ahead and hold my hand against it, the ruler, and that finger guide keeps my fingers protected. If you don't care for the finger guide, you can remove it. It's just kind of inserted into little holes in the ruler. But there's a ton of features in this ruler, and they also have a lot of accessories. Like I already mentioned, the add-on ruler sets with connectors to make different sizes of rulers, and they also have seam allowance guides, so lots of fun features. Check out their website. I've linked to guidelines for quilting in the description in case you're interested in checking out more about this fun ruler. And thanks again to Carol for recommending this tool to me via email. Quilting in Romania says, what size is the ruler? So the one I bought is 6 inches by 12 inches. However, they sell 2 or 3 ruler sets. So if you wanted 6 inches by 24 inches, you just attach a second ruler, and they have connectors that hold everything in place. And it's kind of almost like Lego blocks. You can kind of configure what you need. If you wanted 12 inch by 12 inch square, you would use the connector to connect the ruler to the side edge. So pretty neat. Again, I just got the single ruler because it was my first time trying it out, and I just wanted to see what the ruler was all about. But definitely really cool. And I like that it has features to make it more no slip. So my ruler kind of, even though I have an Omni Grip ruler, it does kind of at times slide a little bit on my cutting mat, but I really like the features of that particular ruler. Latoya says, what is the cost for the ruler? Honestly, I bought the ruler probably months ago because I have so many notions that I'm collecting. I have a little bin at the side of my desk for future notion of the weeks, and so I've had that ruler in the bin for quite some time. So off the top of my head, I don't recall the price, but I have linked to their website in the description, and the prices should be there for all of the different components, that single ruler and their 2 or 3 ruler sets. Let's see. Oh, today I've been patiently waiting. I saw our first hummingbird of the year. He was coming to visit in a bush where he would normally kind of sit in to survey the area. So I was super excited. He's the first one, so I know more will be following in the coming weeks, but very excited to see our little friends again around the house. So I was thinking today, this is not sewing related or hummingbird related, but I had a question for you that I was thinking about earlier. Not sure why, but I was wondering, out of these 4 beverages, which one is your go-to? Tea, coffee, soda, or water? I know it sounds hard to believe, but I'm not a coffee drinker. I've never really drank coffee besides like sugary coffee drinks, but those are kind of more like milkshakes, like Frappuccino type drinks. Pretty much always drinking water. Probably 20 years ago, I did drink a lot of soda, but water is my go-to. And I'm always filling, I use a ball canning jar as my main drinking glass, and it can hold 20 ounces. So I'm always trying to hit every day like 3 of those glasses, because that's 60 ounces. I don't know what the recommended amount is, but 60 ounces to me sounds like a good amount. Kathy says, thank you, Kathy. $29.95 for just the one. Heather says $29.99. That's for the single ruler. Thanks, guys, for checking the amount for me. I guess I should have written that down, but I guess kind of escaped me. But anyway, that's the price for the single ruler. And like I mentioned, they had the different sets available as well. So the fabric that I've added to my stash this week is actually, I picked up a few pieces last year, And then I decided I needed to have all of the colors. This is the Kona Sheen fabric. So Danny's going to switch back to the overhead camera so that I can show you what these look like. So these are the fabrics in the bundle. They're called Kona Sheen because they have a bit of sparkle to them. So I'm gonna cut this open so I can show you what all the fabrics look like. So I think I only picked up maybe 3 or so before, but I was working on a project and I decided I might want to have like rainbow patchwork. So Danny and I were talking, as long as the sparkle doesn't interfere with the camera, then I'll have the go ahead to use this for a project that we plan on filming. So Danny, I don't suppose you could maybe zoom in just a tiny bit? Maybe it'll show better on the, there. So you can probably see really clearly that it's sparkling. I think it's pretty neat. Okay, so I'm gonna go through the bundle. This is sort of a pale pink, petal pink maybe. I wish there was a more of a fuchsia shade also in the bundle, but this will do for now. So the colors I was thinking about for the project I was gonna work on are in the middle of the bundle, so we'll get to those in a second. I think these are really interesting because they're on the Kona base. It does feel similar in weight to the Kona cottons. Obviously the sparkle gives it a little bit more, I guess, of a structure, I guess we could say. Let me put that up there. This one's really awesome. It's almost a neon, slightly lime green. And then the blues. The blues are what I was thinking of for my project. I was gonna do some patchwork for one of the videos that we're gonna be filming, hopefully this week. So I was thinking maybe choosing 3 or 4 of the blues. I really like the blue colors too. This one's fantastic. I really love this one. I guess I could kind of see like a Wonder Woman type theme, the red, the yellow, the blue perhaps. Thanks, Danny. All right, so let's run through the last bits of the bundle. This one's purple actually. I know next to the blue it looks kind of bluish, but this one's more of a, perhaps an eggplant. I love the lighter colors as well. This one's not showing up very sparkly on camera, but it is still sparkly. All the neutrals, and then there's some grays, and then the black at the end. This before the black looks really great, and then this black at the end. So again, these are Kona Sheen. I picked them up in a fat quarter bundle just because I was planning on working on a smaller project, but there's yardage available as well. Kathy says, is it thick fabric like Kona is known for? Yeah, it feels just like Kona, except the sheen portion gives it a little bit more of a, I would say just the regular Kona is a little bit, I don't know if drapey is the word, but it's very similar to the Kona. I think if I didn't know if it had the sheen, I would think it was just exactly the Kona solids. Oh, great question. Kim says sparkle on both sides. No, the wrong side is just the solid Kona fabric. Linda says, do you think the shimmer would wash out? That's a good question. I haven't personally washed the fabric because I'm probably not going to pre-wash it before. I'm going to use it for a wallet actually, so I'm not going to pre-wash it. So I don't know. I don't want to lie. I'm not sure. I'm assuming it wouldn't wash out. I would hope it wouldn't. Cheryl says, Sarah, have you tried pressing the fabric yet? I haven't, and my iron's not plugged in, so sorry I can't do that. Charlotte says, is the fabric smooth or a bit scratchy? It's pretty smooth. I know what you mean about the scratchy. Some fabrics with sparkles or metallics sometimes feel really rough, and this doesn't feel much different than the wrong side. Danny, what do you think? Can I throw you a piece?
Sure.
Okay. It didn't make it to you. Here you go. Tell me if you think it feels the same on both sides, like as far as scratchiness goes. Oh, good. Laura says, I have a charm pack of it. It's smooth and not scratchy. Thank you, Laura. What do you think about it, Danny?
I don't think it feels like normal cotton fabric. It feels more not scratchy, but rough.
Mm-hmm. Like I wouldn't feel bad about putting this into a quilt. Like it's not rough like that. Actually, this would be a really cool rainbow quilt, I think. All right, thank you, Danny. So since we were talking about rainbow colors a second ago, let me know in the comments what your favorite color is. So for some reason, I tend to drift toward like turquoise or aqua colors and bright pinks, like this zipper I was using the other day. There's no rhyme or reason. For some reason, they just catch my eye, or like this really bright blue one from the bundle. This really, when I'm looking at the fabric before I cut into the bundle, this is the one my eye would go to first. But growing up, my favorite color was always green, so go figure. All right, and since we're on the theme of colors and rainbow colors, I came across this book. I think it recently came out. It's called Swatch This, and it is a guide to choosing colors and different color palettes in the book. Perhaps more geared toward, the book says it's perfect for artists, designers, and makers, so any of the above. I feel like for bag makers, maybe not as helpful as for quilters, but perhaps you can decide. So Danny's going to switch back to the overhead camera. This is what the book looks like, and it's spiral bound, which is great. So all the pages lie open flat when you look through them. The book is pretty repetitive as far as the swatches go, so I'll just go through maybe one or two of the colors, but I really like the discussion of the color toolbox at the beginning because it talks about the different colors, talks about stimulation, effect, and result, like feelings. For example, blue for the result is listed as peace of mind, concentration. Yellow's obviously listed as cheerful, but I kind of like thinking of colors in other terms as far as the senses go. So the book's almost 200 pages long, and it's filled with different color combinations and swatches by color. So every color is gone through: red, orange, yellow, even some neutrals like silver, gold, gray, black. I thought, since I was talking about blue a second ago, I thought I'd go through the blue chapter of the book. So all of the chapters are set up in a similar manner. So discussing how to use blue, and giving different color palettes and examples, and there's some design examples in the chapter as well. So I think this is pretty useful, especially if you're putting together a quilt, looking at the different color combinations. When I was reading this book the other day, I kind of landed on this particular color combination and thought it would be really interesting for my next quilt. It's sort of rainbow colors, but not exactly. Like, it has all the colors from the rainbow, but in a different spin on them. So I thought that was pretty neat. Different uses for the color. So this is what I was talking about a second ago with patterns and color combinations. So it just gives you these, my feeling was it gives you these examples and you can see instantly how you feel about them by looking at them. For instance, my eye is really drawn to this particular configuration. Some of them more than others, like probably this one's one of my least favorites. I'm not sure because of the lighter color in the background, but I think it's interesting to see the different combinations. And also in the blue chapter, secondary colors, so making other colors stand out. And so they feature those in the designs on this page, and then accents. So using blue as an accent with the other colors to make the other colors pop, which I thought was pretty cool. And let's see what else we have. Producing rhythm gives examples of that, and then gentleness, which I definitely feel calm looking at the designs on this page, and again the swatches at the top. And then using multiple colors for dynamic effects, and then traditional Japanese combinations. So every color is run through with these swatches and different combinations. And I just, as someone who has a hard time choosing colors for projects, especially quilt projects, I really appreciate this book because it doesn't make me guess or try to figure things out. They're just kind of all there. And I think it's a really cool reference book for just flipping through and choosing colors for quilts and seeing the different swatches together and deciding if it's something I like, something I don't like, or something I just sort of feel neutral about. So Again, this is almost 200 pages, so it's really all illustrations and different color combinations. And if you're interested in checking this out, the book is called Swatch This, and I've linked to it in the description in case you're interested in checking it out, or perhaps you can find it at your local library. All right, so I know, let's see. Kathy says, my library has this on order. I just placed a hold. That's excellent. So yeah, you can see if, try it out from the library, see if it's something you like to own, and if not, it's an interesting checkout from the library for sure. All right, let's get this out of the way. So as promised, tonight I'm going to be previewing 2 of the 4 new patterns. The new patterns and videos are coming out on May 8th, and Danny and I are super excited for them. So, okay, the first one that I wanted to show you is sort of a larger shoulder bag. And before I show you this bag, my personal challenge for this design was to come up with a bag that didn't use any hardware but still looked visually interesting. So, well, I sort of lied. So it uses magnetic snaps, but it doesn't use any other hardware in the bag. So, and it only has a front and a back portion. It's sort of a boxy shaped bag. So this is the Opossum bag. And the interesting feature about this bag, let me see if I could hold it up, is the diagonal cut of fabric across the front of the bag, and it's also replicated on the back of the bag. And for this particular portion of the bag, it's actually a pocket with a magnetic snap. So the pocket isn't the entire portion of the bag, it's just basically this half over here. So I used an Essex linen for this one, and a print fabric for the lining. There you go. Sort of one of my favorite text prints for the lining. The strap is either connected to the entire side portion of the bag. So there's 2 options in the pattern instructions. You can actually have the strap connected to the entire side of the bag, or you can just have the strap stitched into the top corners, and this is what it looks like on the bottom. And on the inside, there's some slip pockets. So let me see if I can hold that up to show you the slip pockets on the inside. So I made the first version in Essex linen just for sort of a neutral toned bag, and then I made it again. I'm almost finished with this one. I had like 1 or 2 steps left. I made it again in a print with a solid purple so that the, I guess, diagonal portion is really apparent.
Covering your mic.
Sorry. So the purple solid kind of helps this is a Tim Holtz print, kind of helps the print stand out. And some of my pattern testers reduced the size. So if you preferred a smaller size, you could certainly easily reduce the size on your at-home printer. Put this to the side. And then I know everyone was excited about the backpack. We sort of showed a photograph of it last week. And this is the Marlin backpack. So it comes in 2 different sizes. This is size small. Let's see if, yeah, they can hold it back a little bit. This is size small, and then size large. I made this one in Tula Pink Curiouser and Curiouser fabrics. Let me hold those 2 up side by side so that you could see the size difference. So size small is more of a purse size, or perhaps a backpack for a small child. And I tried to make the strap configuration a little bit different. So there's sort of an accent, this black piece of fabric on the back of the bag, and the straps and the loop portion are actually stitched onto underneath the accent. And on the other side of the accent, sort of the wrong side of the exterior fabric where the foam is, there's a little piece of either Peltex or Decoville Heavy for sturdiness, because the strap is just stitched to the body of the bag. So everything's really sturdy. The straps are adjustable, and let's see, for the size large, a standard size notebook fits inside. So here's the back of the size large bag, and really fun to make it in the Curiouser and Curiouser fabric. And then let's see, on the inside there is a zipper pocket on one side, and then 2 slip pockets on the other side. So perhaps cell phone and wallet on this portion. What else about the bag? So if you've made the Zeppelin pouch before, or the Connemara pouch, the front of the bag, not counting the front zippered pocket, is sort of a single piece with wings. Let me show you my prototype, and perhaps it'll be more clear on the prototype. So I don't make prototypes for all bags, but for this particular bag I did, because everything has to fit together. And so for this particular bag I made, I don't usually make 5 sets of prototypes, but for this bag I did. So my prototypes are what I call prototypes. If you're a garment sewer, perhaps you're familiar with sewing muslin fabric. My muslin for bag making is a piece of foam interfacing, because it still stands up like the fully finished bag, so I can visually see if things are looking how I want them to be, but there's no lining. So on the inside, I just have my zipper, it's unlined, so it's just the foam interfacing. You can see all the seams on the inside. But I think with my little prototypes, what I was talking about with the sort of the wings on the front of the bag might be more apparent, maybe not. So this portion over here, so this is not 2 separate pieces. This is just sort of like a piece of fabric with wings, and then everything's sewn together. So I just really liked the challenge of making everything fit together, and I don't know, it was a fun, I always love a good backpack, and this one was a really fun one to come up with. So yeah, these are coming out on May 8th, and I'll preview the 3rd and the 4th projects next Sunday on the show. So I still have smallish medium crossbody bag, and then I have a wallet. The wallet was a really great, I was really proud of that wallet, because it took a lot of mental thinking. I'm not a math person. The wallet took a lot of math skills to come up with all the different parts to the wallet. So I hope you enjoyed those projects, and I know Danny's really excited about the new patterns coming out. At this time, we'd like to invite all the bag makers to stand proud. Let us know in the comments that you're part of the Sew Sweetness squad. Hope you're looking forward to the new patterns. We're super, super excited about them, and it was a pleasure designing those patterns. So I can't wait to show you the 3rd and the 4th projects next week. So I am going to be giving away 2 4-pack video bundles today for when the patterns come out on May 4th. So we're going to be giving away 1 bundle to a live winner and 1 bundle to anyone who watches the recording. So you'll have a week to enter as normal. I wanted to announce the winners of last week's giveaway. So the live winner from last week, which I've already heard back from her, that was Kathy Cantu. And then the second winner, which was what I call the recording winner, was Inigo Joseph. So congratulations to Inigo. Please email me after the show so that I can get you set up for your prize that'll be coming out in a couple weeks. Congratulations to you, and I'll be giving away 2 more bundles at the end of the show. So if you have a question for me, you can go ahead and type your question in the comments right now. It can be a general bag making question, sewing related question, question about a notion or tool. Go ahead and type that in the comments right now, either on YouTube or Facebook, wherever you watch our show, and I'll answer as many as I can live. Tamara says, did you start the online Sarah Watts color class yet? It went up on Friday. I have not started it yet. So I did that Sarah Watts class. I think I told you about it perhaps last week on this show, or maybe the week before. I think it was maybe 2 weeks ago. I did get the email on Friday that the course started. I didn't have a chance to open it yet, but I'm really excited about it. In case you missed that particular show, Sarah Watts released an online video course. I think it was 10 different video lessons talking about fabric selection for fabric lovers, how to choose fabrics for your next project, how to put different fabrics together. So it also came with a PDF document to go along with the class. So I'm really excited about digging into that, but I haven't done it yet. Kim Osborne says, great bag. Can I use cork that I purchased from you? So I think, the Opossum bag. I did see a few people, at least a couple, make this in vinyl. So I'm assuming So for this particular bag, you might want to, if you're using cork fabric, you might want to consider the second. So this is the first strap configuration in the pattern instructions with the strap on the side of the bag. For cork fabric, it might perhaps be easier to attach it at the top of the bag instead, because this would create a lot of bulk with cork, I would assume, unless you have a really heavy duty machine. But both of those instructions are included in the pattern, and I talk about both of them in the video as well. Shannon says, will templates be available at the same time as the patterns? That's my goal. I do already have acrylic templates for the crossbody bag, which I'll be showing you next Sunday. I haven't put those acrylics in stock yet. Thinking about acrylic templates for the wallet. I'm still waiting to think about pricing because there's a lot of pieces for the wallet. The backpacks, I'm not sure if all the pieces will be able to be represented with acrylic, because this particular portion on the front of the bag is a really skinny piece, kind of like the chickadee bag, our chickadee acrylic templates. There's that one piece missing from the set because it's really skinny and we are concerned about breakage. Great question from Susan. Will you release the requirements list early? Yes. As soon as the show's over tonight, I will post the supply list for all 4 of the new patterns in the Facebook group. If you are not on Facebook, feel free to email me and I'm happy to get you that via email. There's my email address. Danny put it on the screen, sarah@sewsweetness.com. We will also be having a sew along for one of the 4 new projects, and the choice for the sew along will be voted on you. So I'll post next week, I'll post a poll on the show and in the Facebook group, and you can vote on your favorite, and the leading vote getter will be the choice for the sew along. Marlene says, question, can the backpack hold a bottle of water on the side? Yes, I actually designed it specifically to hold a bottle of water, and for the small, this was my original version. I altered the pockets on the small for the finalized pattern to hold a water bottle. So the pockets on the small will just be a bit higher and wider to make sure it can fit a water bottle. Great question on that. Jessica says, I haven't made a backpack yet, but I think I'm going to have to now. Thank you so much, Jessica. I think I'm going to make the small one again, maybe in horse fabric, because I think this is a great summertime out and about backpack. I mean, both sizes would be, but I guess if you're looking for a smaller purse-sized one. Mary Jo says, how does the size of the Marlin compare to the chickadee? Great question. And
lots of questions on that.
Oh, good. Okay. I happen to have the chickadee back here, so maybe Danny can move the question off the screen. I'll hold up the small one first with the chickadee. Okay. Am I okay, Danny? Yeah. Okay. All right, so here's the chickadee, and this is size small. I'll try to hold them so they're about even. And then here's the chickadee with size large. So you can see the chickadee is still a bit bigger. Let me see. Side-by-side comparison. Yeah, so the chickadee is a bit wider and a bit deeper, taller. Yeah, I've seen a lot of amazing chickadee backpacks in the Facebook group in the last week. So definitely people are getting ready perhaps for some summertime activities, or I've seen a lot of people actually make them for baby diaper bags as well. Wendy says, is the book based on Pantone color? I don't think it is. There are color numbers. Let's see. I don't think so, just looking at the numbers, because I think... No, I don't see anything about Pantone in the book. No. Wendy says, can you say how much fabric you need for the backpack? That one I know off the top of my head because someone asked about that last week. So for size small, it'll be 1 yard of exterior fabric and 1 yard of lining fabric. And for large, it'll be 1 1/4 of exterior and 1 1/4 yard of lining. Terry says, how much is the bundle, please? So the patterns will be available for sale individually. But for 4 patterns and 4 full-length videos, it'll be $40, and it's only available from May 8th through, I think we decided on May 20th. Kim says, which foam is that for the prototypes? My prototypes, I always use Bianni Soft and Stable, so that's what I use for the prototypes. But yeah, great question, just in case you're interested in visually seeing what the Bianni Soft and Stable looks like by itself without fabric. Jeanette says, do you use Soft and Stable for the backpacks and the purse? Yes, I use Soft and Stable for all 4 of those projects that I showed. Marilee says, the new backpack, how is it lined? It is, I think you're asking how is it finished on the lining. So actually all 4 of the new projects, including the backpack, it's just sewn right sides together. So there's no binding. Everything's sewn right sides together and pulled right side out through the zipper pocket, actually. Yeah, Carrie also had the same question. No binding on any of the new projects. And Terry says, how's Mikey? Mikey's doing good. Danny took him to the park. The kids were playing basketball yesterday, so they were there for almost 2 hours. Actually, I was wondering where they were going off to for so long, because he just took Mikey and the kids piled up in the car and they felt like they were gone forever. But Mikey was very busy at the park yesterday. Joan says, is the front pocket of the backpack fold down like the chickadee? Oh, great question. So it's a little bit different. So the front pocket doesn't open all the way flat. I wanted to try a different style where the front pocket sort of just stays open when you unzip it. So that's what this is over here. So if
Stays
you...
closed.
Stays closed.
You said stays open.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. Thanks, Danny. I meant to say stays closed. So if you prefer your pocket to open all the way flat like the chickadee, let me show you what I mean by that. So the chickadee, it just opens, see, you can see that it opens flat. So if you wanted to have your backpack front pocket open flat, or yeah, open flat like the chickadee, it would be super simple to modify it to do so. Yeah, I just wanted to try a little different technique on this one. Let's see, Jackie, how many yards of fabric? So 1 yard each, lining and exterior for the small and 1 1/4 for the large. Would you recommend vinyl or leather? I'm trying to think. I think I did see a few people make, yeah, I saw a bunch of the people make these in vinyl or leather. Yep. Sarah says, do you guys get BarkBox? They have some really cute Star Wars stuff, including a toy that had Luke stuffed inside a Tauntaun. I haven't seen the Star Wars toys yet, but we do get the smaller BarkBox, the smaller subscription with the 2 toys and I think it's the 2 treats. Their toys are really cute, and I like the different features. Like we have this, last month was some sort of Las Vegas theme, so we got like stuffed poker chips, I think it was, and he really likes those because the poker chips are small. And then there was this, I think it was a mouse in a showgirl costume, and the mouse, he really likes that because it has really skinny arms and legs, and he likes chewing and biting on the little skinny arms. Like they're skinny like the size of a pen. They're like that skinny, and he really loves those. Diane says, did I miss if those new patterns are a bundle or individual? Both. When the bundle comes out, the patterns will be available individually, and for instance, if you're not interested in the video, you can just buy the PDF pattern by itself, or you can get the pattern with the video, or you can get the bundle. It's up to you. Laura says, do you have a video on reading measurements on rulers? I'm embarrassed to admit I struggle with it. I don't, but let me pull my ruler out really quick. Dan, you want to switch over to the overhead really quick? Some of my numbers are faded, but we could talk about this really quick. Can you zoom in, Danny, by any chance? Thank you, Danny. All right, so we'll just talk about over here since these are clear. Oh, thank you. All right, so this section, each main section is 1 inch. The middle line over here in the box, that's a 1/2 inch. The line in between the solid line and the 1/2 inch, this is 1/4 inch. And then the lines in between are each 1/8. So say if this is 1 inch, this line will be 1 1/8, 1 1/4, 1 3/4. Sorry, let me start over. 1/8, 1/4, 3/8, 1/2 inch, 5/8, 3/4 of an inch, 7/8, and then that'll be like the full inch. So hopefully that makes sense. Again, in the United States, we're dealing with inches. I know centimeters would be so much easier because it's more of an even. A tenth is a lot easier to divide by. For instance, when I'm using my software, I'm always trying to have to calculate, all right, what's 3/8, what's 3 divided by 8, so I can get an even number. So anyway, yeah, that's the quilting ruler. Cherry says, how is the second Alaska rainbow quilt in bright colors coming along? Not very good, since this is my tiny little stack of blocks, but perhaps a summer project for me. Kyla says, do you think the Kona shimmer bundle would go with a Kona solid gray? I'm thinking of a quilt. Oh, that would be amazing. I could see it going with either a lighter gray or like a charcoal gray. I used this Alaska rainbow quilt that I'm working on. I used charcoal gray, which is this one right here, and black, and as you can see, like bright colors. So like I think it would look equally as good because my Kona solids are similar to in brightness to those shimmer colors, so I think it would look awesome. Let's see, Windless Original says, introducing my mom to Sewcial Sunday. Hi, Mom. She loves the Oriole bag I made her and gets lots of compliments. That's awesome. I really like the Oriole bag. I think it's a really fun shape because of the darts, the really large darts. And so happy that your mom is enjoying her bag. Tony says, how is the straps attached to the side? I think that question was about the Opossum bag. So the straps are top stitched before the bottom edge is sewn, so that's how they're top stitched. For the second version of the strap attachment, they're just stitched raw edges to the top edge before you start putting the bag together. So there's the two different options. Both are in the pattern instructions. Heather says, I've been making small crossbodies without a recessed zipper, and my zipper stays wavy without a recessed zipper. I have tried glue, tape, and clips. I'm super frustrated because my bags look great except for this. Why don't you send me a picture after the show so I could take a look? Especially when attaching a zipper, I try not to pull or tug it or stretch it. Maybe that's not what's happening here, but feel free to send me an email, perhaps a picture if you feel like it's relevant, and I'm happy to talk with you about that via email. Terry says, so 2 weeks to the release, I think. Yeah, so next Sunday I'll be showing the second 2 projects, and then the Sunday after that will be the release. Michelle says, do you get inspiration for patterns from fabric or other life experiences? That's a great question. I don't know exactly. I try to, so for the 4 patterns that are coming out, I feel like a good equation for me is like 3 bags of varying sizes and a smaller project. So for instance, last year we did a bundle with the bellow pouch and then 3 bags, and I felt like that was a good assortment for us, and so that's why I tried to do something similar this time. I just like the idea of the different, I don't know, I try to put a lot of thought into the assortment of projects. The size of the projects, they're all different sizes. There's a range. The Opossum bag's obviously the biggest one. And then I try to go with things that, as a pattern writer, are challenging. So for instance, the Opossum bag, like I mentioned, was that challenge where I tried to come up with a bag with no hardware. So that was my challenge. Yeah, I guess, and I also try to make the process really interesting. So for example, if it's not a design that interests me, I won't be excited to work on it, obviously. So obviously all of these 4 were really interesting designs, especially the backpack, and like I mentioned, the wallet, which I'll be showing next week. Charlotte says, how wide is the strap? Let me grab my ruler. Strap is almost 2 inches wide, so it's a wider strap. Alex says, are the patterns intended for any specific skill level or length of time to complete? Although I know how awesome your instructions are, so I'm not concerned. I think feel like my target for all my patterns is intermediate sewing level, but I feel like with the video, if you choose to purchase the video, makes the pattern possible for any skill level, from a confident beginner obviously to an advanced sewist, because I actually sew the entire project on the camera. So trying to think which is the easiest of the four. Maybe the Opossum bag, but it is a bigger bag, so sometimes the size contributes to how complex it is. Tracy says, does anyone else notice the polka dot wallet? Is that an old pattern or a tease? Oh, that was actually a gift. Yeah, that was a gift, and I'll probably always have that on set with me. So yeah, just a special present that I got. Deanie says, I wanted to ask about the French Bulldog cork. Do you know how tall that image is? I don't have any, I don't think in the sewing room right now. I'm trying to look around. No, I don't. I think I did type in the description of the product listing the size in inches, how tall and how wide it is. So check out the product listing, and if not, let me know. If you can, feel free to email me, but I'm pretty sure I put that in there. Yep, there's the email address. Thank you, Danny. Tony says, what fabric is your chickadee backpack? So the fabric is, I think it's called Peony Brocade. It's designed by Kay Fassett, and I think it's available in another colorway too if you like this design. Peony, I hope I said that right, Peony, Brocade. Deanie says, I just watched your binding video, very helpful, thank you. I'm so glad it was helpful. I think the binding video I posted on social media a couple weeks back, and you can find it on my website. I have a section on my website for tutorials and bag making techniques, and I think we have over 100 videos on there now. So they're all about 10 minutes or less videos talking about different things like making and attaching binding, how to sew darts, how to make a two-sided strap. So like all these techniques that you can use and adapt to the bag that you're making. And I try to make them as general as possible so that you can easily input it to a bag you're making. So for instance, if you're working on a pattern and the bag doesn't have a side pocket, but you'd like to add, say, a mesh side pocket to put your water bottle in, I have a couple videos, different videos for that. So kind of a building block type of situation. That's what my bag making techniques page is all about. Linda says, your pattern prices are so reasonable, absolutely amazing after thinking about the amount of work you put into it. Well, thank you very much. I think I've thought really hard about this over the years as far as our pricing goes, and certainly had the opportunity to raise the prices on the patterns and videos, but I feel like what we're selling them at is reasonable and makes it accessible to a lot of different people. And we also have the free patterns and videos, so try to have a lot of different options for sewists, especially when you're first starting. If you're a beginner, there's a lot of stuff you have to buy your machine, all the interfacing, everything sort of adds up. So we have a lot of options available on the website. Mary Jo says, will the single new patterns be available after the bundle is gone? Yes, the new patterns will be available as single options, and the single options will be available forever. Betsy says, can you make the chickadee without backpack straps? Yes, I think I saw, well, for instance, it's got the handles, which if you wanted to make the handles longer, you could. I think I saw a couple people make, instead of the 2 backpack straps, a single backpack, I think for like a sling type bag. What else? I'm pretty sure I've also seen a few people add a side adjustable strap. So there's a few different things you can do with this design if you don't want it to be a backpack. Laura says thumbs up. Thank you very much, Laura. Becky says, what is the bag with the aqua green bottom and rainbow top? Oh, that's the Falabella pouch, and I've got another Falabella on my shelf. So the top pushes down and reveals whatever you have inside. So like I've got markers and this little guy right here. Will there be more than one sew along? It's always a possibility, but for now, as far as for the month of May, we'll be starting a sew along. It'll just be the one project, whatever you guys choose. Oh, the camera's focusing on the bags over here. The sew along that's coming up next month will just be for one project. So I'm not sure if we'll have another one later on in the year. We might. Julie says, Sarah, can you show the 2 new ones again, please? Sure. Actually, my extra question was for you to let me know which of the 2 new ones was your favorite. So I guess I'll ask that question now. This is the Opossum bag. This is one of the new patterns. And then the second new pattern was the Marlin backpack. So let me know which of the 2 was your favorite in the comments. I'm curious to see what everybody's favorite is. That, by the way, that's not the official vote for the sew along. I'm just curious to see in the comments which one was your favorite. All right, Danny, was that it on the questions? All right, I apologize if I did not get to your question live, but I'll be back again next Sunday, by the way, showing you the second 2 projects for the new patterns. So the giveaway for tonight is I'm going to be giving away 1 live 4-pack video bundle, and then you have 1 week to enter for the second winner. So the 4-pack video bundle comes out on May 8th, and if you're a winner, you'll receive your prize then when the bundle comes out. So, Danny, give me some numbers to choose one from for the live winner.
105. 107 now.
How about 63?
1 through 20?
4. All right, Heather Fortney is our live winner, so congratulations to you, Heather. Please email me after the show so that I can get your contact information. And as always, for the other giveaway, you have until the end of the day this Saturday to leave a comment on the show wherever you watch, either Facebook or YouTube. We compile all the comments together and randomly draw 1 winner. So that winner will be announced on next Sunday's show. So thank you so very much for watching Sewcial Sunday. I really appreciate the supportive comments about the new patterns. I hope you have a great week and happy sewing. Bye, everybody.